Oftentimes, healthy eating goes to the wayside between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So what are the triggers and what can you do to stay on track? Joining me now are two dietitians from MidState Medical Center, Young and Keri Kemish. Nice to have you ladies here.
Thank you.
So this is kind of a difficult time of year to stay on track, and I feel like there's parties, there's celebrations, but there are some ways to do it. What do you recommend?
Well, I think a lot of it is planning ahead, so you can reduce some of the impulse eating that might set in.
Yeah, as the party gets underway, right?
Exactly.
And Keri, you have some tips about alcohol. We're going to talk about that because usually they go hand in hand with holiday parties.
That's
but
true.
first, Ann, come down here with me and we'll talk about some healthy treats. You say it's important to have a snack before you actually get to the party.
That's always a good idea. You don't want to go to the party starving. You know, we know what
Because
happens
you eat
then.
everything in sight.
Exactly. Everything looks good, and before you know it, you might have consumed a good 600 calories or more.
Okay, so let's talk about the recommendations here.
Sure. So when you're thinking of a healthy snack, maybe try to combine some kind of carbohydrate with maybe a healthy protein or a healthy fat. So some real good examples would be maybe having a piece of fruit and a handful of almonds, or maybe a slice of whole grain toast and some peanut butter, or maybe just even grabbing a yogurt. And all of these snacks would be about 200 calories or less.
And the Greek yogurt is great because it has some extra protein in it, right?
It does. So it's got both carbohydrates and protein.
So that's what we're trying to do, mix them together. Because sometimes fruit, I mean, it's all sugar, so you want to offset it.
It's all carbohydrate, and you might not find it holds you as long without having that little bit of protein with it.
Very good. All right. And then another tip here is once you're at the party, what exactly do you do?
Well, a good rule of thumb is just try to stick with eating one plate of appetizers instead of going back to the second plate. I think it is, because you know what? You had your snack before you even went to the party.
That's true.
So you're not going to be quite as hungry grabbing for those extra servings.
Now, are there types of appetizers we should stay away from or maybe seek out?
Well, you know, I think when you go to a party, you look for the appetizers that look most appetizing to you. And if there's other things that you don't really care about, don't waste your calories on those. And then if they have fruits and vegetables, really try to load up on those, or even say to yourself, I can have second helpings of an appetizer, but only the fruits and vegetables.
Sounds great. That's what we'll look for then. And Keri, we'll move along here. Cocktails at Christmas parties, kind of a staple.
Yes.
But they add serious calories.
They do. And this is an example of the serving sizes. For women, it is 5 ounces, and for men, it's 2 servings, which would be 10 ounces.
Okay.
So this is an example of 12 ounces of light beer, 4 ounces of champagne, and this is an actual serving for a woman, 5 ounces of wine. And this is double. So this all of these are anywhere between 50 and 100 calories.
Wow.
And the double would be 200 calories, so every...
So that glass itself is just 200 calories?
That glass right there is 200 calories.
And people might have more than just one.
Yeah, most people do.
Right? But let's talk about the options here. It's kind of a light beer. That's what you should look for?
A light beer. Any light beer will be just about 100 calories.
Okay, now what if you wanted a different type of cocktails or something we should look for, stay away from?
Well, actually, another good choice is 1.5 ounces of, let's say, a vodka mixed with a seltzer or tonic or club soda. That would have anywhere from only 50 to 100 calories for that drink.
So maybe you think about doing that instead of maybe the pina colada, or you brought eggnog. Talk to me about eggnog.
Eggnog can be very fattening and very high in calories. There are light versions which have about 40 to 50 less calories per serving. But still, light does not always mean low fat, and
you don't drink the whole thing.
Don't drink the whole thing. And this right here for a light is 140 calories for an 8-ounce serving.
Wow, that's not great. Okay.
Yes.
So probably skip the eggnog.
Or
You're
have
without it. Or have just a little bit, just a
bit.
taste. All right. So we're also going to be doing a lot of holiday shopping this time of year, and probably be tempted to stop at fast food restaurants because they're on the way home or whatever. You have some suggestions to avoid that?
We do. If you know you're going shopping for a long period of time, pack a bag. Put nuts, dried fruits, yogurts, half a sandwich, anything in there to prevent you from going to the food court and getting burgers and pizzas all day long.
So just again, we go back to the planning.
The planning
Think ahead.
Yes,
that's right.
And I know this time of year can be exhausting, but it's still important to get some sort of physical activity in. Do you have any recommendations?
Exactly. Well, I always tell clients if they're going to go to the mall and maybe they need to shop at Penny's, park at Macy's.
That's great, right?
You can add more steps to your shopping experience, or maybe even pick up the pace to your walking when you're shopping. Walk more briskly. I think anything that can just enhance the shopping experience exercise-wise will really help.
Take the stairs instead of the escalator, right?
Exactly.
Every day.
That's
Very
perfect.
good. Well, ladies, thank you so much for the tips. It is holiday party season, so we appreciate it. And for more information on MidState Medical Center, log on to midstatemedical.org, or you can call the number on your screen, 1-800-DOCTORS. All right, we are heading up next. We have the Knights of Columbus. They're going to shine the spotlight on the Farnham House, a home away from home for thousands of young people.